Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Hoops with Noops. Of course, I am Alex Noops Christensen. I'm brought to you by the fine folks at FTN. It's a great team that we have over there, and we've upgraded everything. We're now just under one website, FTN Fantasy. Of course, you can still get all the great bets and daily and of course, the fantasy and DFS stuff that you got from all the other sites, but everything's organized into one place, which also brings more value to you. If you haven't in a while, double check your package. You're likely getting something for free you didn't get in the past, and you have an opportunity to get even more for less. Basically, at this point, I think last time I looked, the FTN Bets package is just a little over $20 a month, but only $25 for VIP, which gets you everything. Every single tool, piece of data content that we make here at FTN is at your fingertips to help you win better yourself, or just find some plays if that's what you're looking for. Of course, you get access to the Discord, some great conversations and extra content and things going into there. And it's a really fun community. There's some good people in there sweating bets, sharing ideas, having a good time, and really helping everybody be a little sharper and make a little more money, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk some NBA playoffs, try to find some value in the market. We've got 3 games tonight as we're getting through the first round. The first series closed out last night. The Minnesota Timberwolves, in 4 very convincing games, defeat the Phoenix Suns. To my surprise, I thought Phoenix was going to win that series, or at the very least be competitive, but Kevin Durant looked terrible. Devin Booker struggled up until the last game, and Bradley Beal is just a shell of himself. There really isn't as much talent on that Phoenix roster as we expected, and they weren't able to do what they had done all season, pull Minnesota into slow, ugly games and win them late. Kudos to the Timberwolves. They made some good adjustments. They were pushing the ball more. Anthony Edwards was awesome. He played 4 really good games, excelled in big moments. Rudy Gobert has found a way to stay on the floor late in games instead of being a problem on offense. The Timberwolves look really good, and I think have opened the possibility of them maybe winning another series, if not 2. We'll see. They get probably the Nuggets here in the next round. We'll see how that goes. That was Denver's toughest series last year, they said. So should be a fun matchup. 7 other series left, and most of them getting to be kind of done. As things sit right now, the Nuggets, who play tonight, have a 3-1 lead over the Lakers. The Pelicans and the Thunder, who play tonight, Thunder have a 3-game lead there. The Celtics are up only 2 games to 1, but huge favorites tonight over Miami. And the other couple series, the Sixers lose yesterday. My Sixers, they're now down 3 games to 1 to the Knicks, and the Pacers up 3 games to 1 on the Bucks. It feels like those series are, if not done, approaching finality pretty quickly. The other 2 series should be very competitive. Clippers, Mavericks, a great win for Los Angeles last night, and what now is going to be a very fun series is going to go at least 6 games, might go 7. The Magic really turn around after 2 terrible games in Cleveland. Really look like a much better team the last 2 games in Orlando. We'll see what they can do on the road here in Game 5. But again, we've got at least 2 series going 6, and both of them, I think, probably have a good shot to go 7. Very exciting. It's a great time. We've got great basketball, and let's go through all 3 games tonight. I have a bet in one of them, but I'll cover them all. Just kind of let you know what I'm thinking, give you a quick review of what's happened, what we can take away from that, and why tonight is either a spot where I like it, I see some value, or maybe I don't. We'll get started with the Boston Celtics. They are still in Miami here. The Heat 10.5-point underdogs, the total 203.5. Boston is the much better team, has been the better team, and is likely to continue to do so. Miami did win a game. They stole one in Boston, Game 2, and it's really thanks to just a crazy 3-point shooting percentage. Shot over 50% from 3 on over 40 attempts. Let me just double check what that number is. I want to make sure that I have the right one here, because it was just a truly outrageous performance. Again, 43 3-pointers they shot, and they made 53% of them. It's hard to have that high of a volume and be that efficient. Again, the more volume you have, the more likely you are to be near your season average, which makes it such a truly amazing performance by Miami. But that's what they needed to do. And you look at that game, they win it by 8-9 points and just get crushed in the last game. I mean, Boston was better in every single possible metric you could look at. A really tremendous victory for the Celtics, who should continue to win, but Miami still has it. I mean, it's Spoelstra, and maybe they can do that again. I don't know if they're going to need to do it 3 more times. That's not going to happen, but it's hard to say if and when Miami's going to do it. But what I would say is, if you're betting this game, I think you just play alternate spreads. Basically, if you like the Celtics, play this thing out to like -14.5 and a nice big fat number, because if they win, they crush them. the same time, if you like Miami here, maybe sell this thing down to like +6.5, +5.5, sprinkle the money line for a little bit. It's just a situation, again, where the variance I think is going to be really high. Said another way, I don't think these games are going to land close on the spread, and they haven't so far. It doesn't mean that the spread is wrong. It just means there's a lot more scenarios where we're close to, but outside of this number, basically. It's going to be hard for these ones to land. The total knocked down here pretty far. Again, the spread 10.5. It was 9.5 last game, same location. Makes perfect sense. No change in players. The total 203.5, a little bit lower than the last game. One of the slowest playoff games this postseason. Boston really just grinding things down here and keeping Miami from playing fast to get those open looks. So I expect the Celtics to win big. I'm not betting on it, though. At the same time, I always, as much as I do think Miami can keep this close, can maybe surprise Boston again, I'm not betting on that either. I think the market has some good numbers out here. But like I said, if you're looking at this, play some alts. I just think that these numbers are good for kind of your average over a large sample size, but game to game, things are going to be a little bit wild here. So whatever side you see, try to sell some points. Make sure you're playing at least plus money, if not a nice big plus number. Look for like plus 150, plus 200. This is a good time for that. The second game here, the Oklahoma City Thunder go to New Orleans to play the Pelicans. The Thunder, after winning barely, just by 2 points in game one, have thumped the Pelicans in the last two matchups, winning by 32 points and 20 points. The Thunder now 4.5-point favorites here in New Orleans. The total sits at 205.5. The Thunder were just small favorites in game three. The market adjusted here a little bit, but I don't think the adjustment was enough. I like the Thunder tonight. I have them closer to 8, almost 9-point favorites in this matchup without Zion Williamson, who again is out for the rest of the season. New Orleans is just kind of a worse version than the Thunder. Brandon Ingram is a little better wing than Jalen Williams, but the depth is still better for the Thunder. The Pelicans really rely on that. The Thunder have as many good wing defenders as New Orleans does, but the Thunder have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They have Chet Holmgren, who are probably the two best players on the floor. Shai, 100% the best player on the floor here. So I like the matchup for the Thunder. I think that, what we're looking at here is in game four. So we've got a New Orleans team that doesn't want their season to end. Maybe they do. Maybe this is a team that is kind of done and is ready to go to Cancun. The Thunder, it's a young team. It can be tough for them to close out series, especially knowing they can go back home and do it in front of their home crowd, which will always be a lot easier. But I think Oklahoma City had their scare in game one. They were very close to, again, losing there and held on just barely. I expect them to play good tonight. And again, even if the Pelicans are trying and the Thunder get a little nervous, I still like Oklahoma City to win this game and to win it by margin. So give me the Thunder. I'll lay the 4.5 points. I like this. Anything, honestly, 5.5 or less. I'm seeing some 5s out there, but still plenty of 4.5s. Go ahead and grab that now while you can. Of course, if you're in the FTN Bets Discord, you got this probably like 2 hours ago. The Los Angeles Lakers visit the Denver Nuggets. The Lakers finally able to win the first time since December 16th, 2022, that Los Angeles has defeated Denver in an NBA basketball game. That is staggering. It is really hard for a team, especially a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, to lose that many times in a row to one team, but it really is a nightmare matchup. And you look at that last game, it just comes down to shooting. The Lakers had a better night. They were able to shoot 52% from the field. I think maybe just a little bit better than that. Won the battle in the paint by about 20 points. The Nuggets shot 44%, one of their worst shooting performances in weeks, and much lower than kind of what they do in general in the season. So you basically balance those numbers out. The Nuggets would have won again. So it just kudos to the Lakers. They avoid being swept. I think LeBron now only been swept 3 times in his entire career, which is just incredible given how many playoff series he's played over his 20 years. But these numbers look just about right to me. We're looking at Nuggets here -7. Pretty close to what it was in games 1 and game 2, the total 217. A little bit less here. Jamal Murray's questionable, and I think that the market telling us here with a spread that's maybe 2 points lower, a total that's 2 or 3 points lower than what it was in game 1 and game 2, is because Murray might be missing. Now, the Nuggets can still win this game. Nikola Jokic is the best player. Denver has had a lot of wins without Jamal Murray this year, but Murray is really what makes them special. He's their best offensive guard and Jokic's preferred pick-and-roll partner. So I think the Nuggets get it done here. I think they win. Just not sure if they cover the points, really, even with Murray in there. Denver knows that it's all about winning the game. They don't necessarily care about the margin. So nothing for me here. Again, all these numbers look right. But as I mentioned, the Oklahoma City Thunder, I like them quite a bit tonight. 4.5 out there right now. I think anything 5.5 or better, maybe even -6, -105, if that's your only option, is a pretty good wager tonight. The Thunder close out. A young team gets their first playoff series win by margin, which is always great for us. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Put a comment down below. Let me know how I'm doing. If you have any thoughts or questions of your own, I always love chopping it up and talking about other bets. Again, that's what we do in the Discord. It's a lot of fun in there. So if you're not in there and you have a question, dump it in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Best of luck until we talk again.